Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today I wanted to do a quick video on molding a client who is partially relaxed and also partially natural. She came in for a haircut a couple weeks to months ago, and the haircut has grown out, and today she wanted to cut it slightly shorter. Plus, she's also salt and pepper. So as you guys can tell, her hair texture is a mixture of textures. It is a mixture of curl patterns. It is also, in my opinion, more medium and coarse because the salt hair has a coarse texture and the pepper hair has a medium texture. Now, her situation is a little more ideal. Most clients who are natural and relaxed, typically their curl pattern interferes with trying to lay this hair down. Also, another thing that I would always want to point out, which when I was speaking to her, I said the same thing, because she wanted to cut it shorter, but she did not want to get a relaxer because she is dealing with some dermatitis and has kind of gotten it under control. So, I just told her the pros and cons of what we were doing, that cutting her hair shorter could potentially put her in a place where, I wouldn't be able to, the hair would not be able to lay down unless relaxed. And it's not to say that I'm pushing her towards getting another relaxer, but I like to let my clients know the information because that's my job, to inform you and give you all aspects of what could and could not happen. Now, with her haircut, I didn't take a ton of hair off. Honestly, I would call this more of a cleanup cut rather than a style cut because the roadmap has already been built, basically, or the bricks have already been laid from the original service. So this is just more a maintenance cut to clean it up, take down the length in areas where she had any concern, and then to also, give her hair some TLC, which is exactly what it needs. Now, around the perimeter of the head, she likes to leave the hair a little more shaggy, which is a word that I kind of use, or even wispy, just in case there are any flare-ups with her dermatitis, which was also a great idea. And also, we took the hair off of her ears. This is something that I would recommend. If you are dealing with dermatitis, having hair behind the ear or around the ear is going to cause even more of a flare-up. Here's why. That hair is in an area where you perspire and where you hold moisture. So if that hair is covering that area and oxygen can't get to it, it's actually going to make it worse rather than better. So I highly recommend cutting the hair around the ear off if possible. It's not always possible. And then I also recommend just making sure that you are cleaning behind your ears every single day to remove that moisture multiple times a day, especially for my people who have dermatitis. Now, I can say, her dermatitis has really gotten a lot better compared to the first time that I saw her, because at that point it was really bad. It had flared up really bad, whereas this time around I saw no flare-ups. I cannot tell you guys what she's been doing. I don't know, but she has made a huge transformation in her dermatitis issue that she had compared to when I saw her the first time, you guys. So I just wanted to point that out and give kudos to her, shout out to her, because definitely you need to share your secret with the rest of the world because her skin looked amazing. Okay. All right, so I'm just cleaning up the top. We were talking about the top, and I was telling her I didn't want to take too much off because then we run the risk of it being hard for her to mold and take care of at home. So at this point, I use the Elite Silk Wrap Foam to mold her down, which, as I told you guys, she has two different textures. She's also natural and relaxed in some places because some areas grew out that were relaxed and some areas have more relaxer or longer hair that I didn't cut off. Now, when I apply the wrap foam, if you guys notice, I applied a good amount because I need that wrap foam to really hold the hair down. This is the key to molding clients who have natural hair or a mixed texture of hair. The wrap foam is going to hold the hair down temporarily. Your job is to have speed and precision when you are doing your mold. So if you guys notice, I'm moving really quickly, but I'm smoothing every section and sometimes going back and smoothing the previous section. And look, if you see me touching again, because I want to make sure that I keep the hair down long enough so that I can put wrap strips on it. Now for me, with a client who has two different textures, I do a mega wrap. So I put wrap strips over the top of the head because I know that area will want to swell when she's under the dryer. And then I go and I put wrap strips all the way around the head. Now sometimes I'll even put 2 strips or 3 strips on top of the head. In her case, I just use 1.5 strips basically. And the free hairs from the bigger strip, I just wrapped around the rest of her head, and everything seemed to lay just fine. And she went under the dryer for about 45 minutes. Now that she's dry, I'm using some of our Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum to basically put a little gloss on the hair. It's also a heat protectant. And also when you're dealing with multi-textured hair or even natural textured hair, that hair loves to be held down with something slightly heavier, like a silicone-based product. So I did not use a hair grease. I used a silicone-based product. Hair grease runs the risk of changing the color of the hair as you are using thermal styling tools, whereas silicones protect the hair from that heat from the thermal styling tools. So I definitely recommend for those of you that are salt and pepper to be using your Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum. It is great for you when you're going out into the elements because it has that UV protectant, and at the same time, it adds that luster or shine to the hair. Now for her wash today, because I didn't really say that, for her wash, I actually use our Elite Clarify for her first shampoo, which is a clarifying shampoo to cleanse the hair and the scalp. And then I followed up with our Moist Repair shampoo because I know that she has somewhat medium and coarse textured hair. And I know that hair really wants that assistance with that moisture from the Moist Repair shampoo. Also, the Moist Repair shampoo is a sulfate-free shampoo. So actually all of our shampoos are now sulfate-free. Shout out to Elite Hair Care. But I used our Moist Repair because I knew that she was dealing with multiple textures. She's short. She's in Florida. We have a lot of humidity, and our weather is always actually dry as well. So moisture for her is always going to be great. And also that salt hair typically needs more moisture than it needs strength, especially for medium and coarse textured clients. For her conditioner, I used our B7 Beyond conditioner, which works great with fine textured hair, but it also works great for coarse or medium textured hair. And let me just have put a correction here. I used the B7 Beyond Biotin Mask as an instant conditioner for her. Okay, so I didn't just use the regular B7 Beyond conditioner. I used the Biotin mask from the B7 Beyond collection because it is a heavier conditioner and it's going to coat each strand and really soften that hair up. Now, the iron that I'm using today is the H2 Pro 3/10 of an inch iron. This is my go-to iron for 95% of my shortcuts. This iron just makes it really, really simple. I don't have to use Marcel's. It's nice and smooth. You know, I can control the heat. I can control a lot more with this iron. And I've kind of switched from using Marcel's many years ago. I believe in working smarter and not harder, but I do still have my Marcel irons kind of tucked away if I ever have to bring them out. Now, you guys stay tuned to the end of the video because I do have a coupon code that you'll be able to use for any of the products that I mentioned in today's video. And also the links to our website are in the description box where you're able to go and look at our products, which is EliteHairCareUSA.com. Now, here's the thing. She still has some relaxed hair, so her style will last a little bit longer than most who are natural. The reason why it will is because she has that chemically processed hair mixed in with that natural hair, and her hair also lays really, really nicely because it was molded very well. Foundation is everything when you are dealing with short hair. So keep that in mind, you guys. If your mold is jacked up, you're more than likely going to have a very hard time when you are trying to curl or style your hair. So I always say to you guys, ensure that you are molding the hair in the direction in which you plan on styling it to make your job even easier. So now that I am finished curling her, I didn't want to really disturb that wave looking action that I gave her. So all I did was kind of finger style her to give her slight volume in the crown, to also close up the little circle right there in the middle. She's not balding or anything. I just wanted to kind of close up that area to just fill it in. And then her hair just came out absolutely amazing, you guys. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about the style. See you in the next video.